Hello, and welcome to another week of Myriad Song. I'll be your GM, Eli, and I guess we should do introductions. Arklord, do you want to start?
Yes, I am Arklord. I play the Pharaoh Bannerfree, the patient Druid sniper, whose motto is one shot, one kill.
Awesome.
For my quests. Oh, yes, and I have the goals of retrieve the keys from Planet Warcon with Myriad and Delok, and make it to the Planet of Victors. Well, I think we either just got that one or we're going to this session.
Yeah, we last session we completed arriving to the Planet of the Victors and Warcon.
Oh, I see it now in my XP log. I'll just delete the one in my goals.
That's why we always got to catch up with this introduction. Theta, do you want to introduce your character now or after we've met him?
I mean, I guess it makes...
Theta's a rollover.
Yeah, I guess it would make more sense to introduce when I'm introduced.
Spend a moment in memoriam.
Jaimin was lost in the last session.
Jaimin, who may have been the last of his kind, we can only hope, who took on the entire interplanetary army for, I think, at least an hour. But eventually...
Maybe, could be more than that.
Let's remember some of his famous last words, including, "I'm a terrorist."
I believe his last words were, "Give me what I want." Not... I mean, they were among his last words, but...
I forgot he said that.
The weird part, this is even the worst atrocity I've been involved in Myriad Song. So,
we've been involved with worse.
So I guess I should describe my character.
Yeah, you can go next.
Okay, well, I'm still playing Ezreal, full name Ezreal Dibusum, but everyone just calls him Ezreal. He is a cocky human paramilitary mercenary, and my motto is never kill for free. And I would like to upgrade my character because I have enough experience points.
Woo!
Ah, yeah.
Last session, I earned the gift of Team Player, and Team Player was the last gift I needed to unlock a new career of Scavenger.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I'd like to buy that.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, so I'm a mercenary.
What does that give you?
Craft, endurance, and observation. And we were short on craft and observation. So these are skills that I've picked up by being a frugal mercenary, considering how I retired on only $6.
Not only do we have the cheapest mercenary around, we have the most miserly one too.
But he came out of retirement to help you guys. So what does that say about his dedication to the team? He's a team player.
Gotta start talking like a trailer park boy. Oh, get him up.
All right, and that leaves us with Mitherlin.
Hey, I'm Griffin. I'm playing Mitherlin, the Lampier agitator with a liberatory personality. My motto is down with our oppressors. And last time I almost won the game.
Almost, you were close. Rafferty brings up a good point in that he bought Scavenger. Did anyone else trade in any of the gifts from last session to buy anything cool?
I think I'm holding on to them both. I like Team Player, and I like having a free tactics die.
Oh, and I still have the I still have that gift actually. So I just had 10 experience points.
Yeah, and I think it's been clarified. It's either tactics, endurance, and we haven't thought of a third skill.
Yeah, yep.
I returned player of the game and picked up veteran, which seemed more appropriate to me.
Mm-hmm.
That works.
I'm actually surprised he didn't have it already.
Well, she was just that close to being a veteran. She qualified with, she had that last combat checked off. So the last we'd left off, the party had just, you'd received the first key from Warcon. And does everyone remember what that key was?
A hat.
Yes, a musical hat. Yes.
Make the Myriad great again.
Mm-hmm. Then you decided to head off to. You decided to head off to. Shoot, I can't remember which one it
Deluxe,
was.
I think.
Deluxe,
The foresty
yes.
one.
Yeah. For some reason I couldn't remember the name. So you decided to head off to Deluxe. You guys signed up and you bought several tickets on a caravan ship that was making its way there. On this ship, I guess you don't. You might have a day or two of time before when you arrive on the ship and before it, uh, takes you to its next location, or maybe there's even a stop in between where it's going to spend some time. Would you guys like to do anything in this in between time on kind of this journey?
Good question.
Like,
Oh,
is anyone hurt? Is what I'm wondering. Like, is that something we have to worry about?
I did get hurt, but then we ended up playing board games for a few weeks, so I'm kind of fine.
Yeah. I recovered from my previous injuries. How are you doing, Arcloid?
I think I've had time to recover. I had
have
an injury marked, but I don't have any healing quota. But we've been out for a while.
Well, it would take about at least 12 days of proper, of no work at all to heal back from being injured.
I think you guys. I don't remember if you guys got into any fights on WarCon, and there was certainly more than 12 days had passed. I just couldn't remember, and I wanted to make sure that if someone was hurt, we could kind of have some
honestly,
recovery time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I have people just hand wave over because people are just sick of dealing with it.
Yeah.
If it's been enough time, it's been enough time.
Well, I was about to say, if it hadn't been enough time, I do have my ally as a pusher who can get rid of injured.
Oh, sweet.
But
And
at
I
what
guess-
cost?
And I guess on a journey to a new world on a cavalcade is probably the appropriate time to say, I'll go hook up with my regulars and see who's around.
Let's see that roll.
We got two people this time.
Ooh.
So
Well,
not a lot.
Deluxe is kind of a little bit out there. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people going out in that direction or even coming from that direction. So maybe there's just you're not meeting a lot of folks that on this cavalcade. Or all of them have a goal already. You're not meeting people that are just kind of wandering around.
Right, and I guess on the same stance, I'm probably also going around asking people about information of Deluxe, like, what's it like there? What might we need? Because we didn't get a whole lot of information while we were on WarCon about it, I believe.
No, there wasn't much information on the planet of Deluxe.
But it was wildernessy, I heard. So I guess I'm going to be looking for some people who'd be good in the wilderness. So
that's a good question. Mythilin, can your ally aid with your regular role?
He does, and he's already incorporated in the role.
Perfect. I thought that was one of the D8s.
Oh wow, Adobe crashed. Nice.
Oh no!
I'll get back to what careers they are later. But Mythilin's doing her thing and just chatting people up. So
what are you thinking? What are you thinking about? Or is that where you were going to look at the list first?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because I've done assassins and laborers and investigators and engineers. I'm just not sure if those are exactly the types of people I need.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna start asking
gorillas.
So what method? I assume for you, your method is you're going to be asking about and chatting about Deluxe, right? You're not gonna, or you're gonna try to take a more researchy, administrative.
This is just talking and hearsay. So
yeah, give me a roll.
Okay. Incidentally, it's the exact same roll I just did, but except it's not for regulars. In this case, it is the
exact same. The exact same fare. 2 successes. So what sort of questions would you like to ask about Deluxe?
What is it like? Like, is it a single outpost, a large city, a bunch of tiny interconnected villages? What is it like there?
Oh, the planet of Delix is absolutely wonderful. It's a great place to go. My husband happens to have a real fascination with eyeglasses and that sort of in their ilk. And you look over, and her husband is a large monster with a number of eyes, and each one has a different set of glasses on it, each marvelous. Uh, well, he just loves the glassware and the crystals from Delix. They're absolutely a delight. They've got a wonderful museum there. Well, it's Zilbar's kaleidoscoporium. Yep, yep. They have lovely crystals. Uh,
Hmm.
they're
So
absolutely
what
delightful.
crystals? Is it
Yep.
primarily a mine? Is that what they do there?
Oh well, I mean mainly it's just forest. I think Zilbar's the only thing on the planet.
All right. But you've been to Zilbar before, and it at least sounds like a nice place.
Oh, it's nice. I'd recommend you stay at Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Motel. It's probably the best housing you can get there. They all amenities. And then while you're there, Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Diner to die for. It's absolutely amazing. And of course, you have to check out Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium. It's the star of the show.
I think I'll have to. With such a glowing recommendation from you.
Well, just have a great trip. Check out the kaleidoscopes.
All right. And it turns out there is, in fact, a hunter career, and that may very well be what I'm looking for.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Did you do the safari?
Well, we just finished up with the safari over on WarCon. Let's have another one, everybody.
Well, that would explain how you're
Mhm.
learning how to do all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Would you like to ask other questions about Delix?
What's sort of dangerous on the planet out in the wilderness? Is there anything to worry about if we were to go and explore?
I assume this question might be you end up directing it to one of the, maybe even security, helping run the ship. And well, there's not many dangers on Warcon. Mainly if you stay inside the Zilbar's or Delix. Well, there's not many dangers on Warcon either if you're not playing the game. But Delix is what we are talking about, right? Well, if you stay inside Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium, everything's fine. But I know the wilderness is rather uncharted there. There's the crystal forests, and then there's the crystal caves, and those are just the two biomes out there.
I see. Actually,
Clearly,
that
it's
brings
just crystals all the way down.
Yeah, if it's crystals all the way down, I imagine it's a little bit hostile to organic life just sort of hoofing it outside.
You'd be surprised. The crystal forests are just called that for the strange fruit and the glisten. The caves are all full of crystals, and whatever life has evolved on Delix, it seems to the plants at least they pull up some of that crystals, and it's now part of them, but organic nonetheless.
Hey, Griffin, who were your followers this time around?
I've gone ahead and chosen an Adhelion Hunter, and I'm wondering if I'm just going to double up on that or pick up a Lampure Gorilla. Just
Okay,
even
so
it out.
no Towsers. Okay, no Towsers, no robots. All right.
Yeah. I just deleted Robe off the list.
So who
Toes
wants?
or something might be interesting, but
Man,
yeah.
I sure hope that when we recruit another person to fill the hole in our team, that they're a normal, well-adjusted person with a fine and appropriate skill base.
Not around me.
All right, is it?
Yeah. I think I'll just go ahead and choose 2 Adhelion hunters just for simplification.
So
Let's
yeah,
try the
present day.
Adhelion again.
They're the bird people.
Cool.
That's the birds that are normally hatched with I forget what it is, like when twins in the womb cannibalize one another.
Yeah, the sharks do that, and I can't remember what it was called.
Well, these bird people do it, and so they wind up being freaky weird, often with eyeballs on different parts of their bodies, and weird tumors that actually have sensory organs. It's kind of creepy. We added that in the Kickstarter because somebody pledged for it.
Kickstarter goals define how the species
Hey,
breeds.
making the game wackier, I was all down with that.
Oh yeah. Still, I got 2 of them as hunters, and they'll be joining us because I definitely feel we're probably going to go out into the wilderness. That
Awesome.
said, there's not much that necessarily helps them other than endurance and some observation, I think.
Has anyone told Mitherland that crystals, like, they don't move, so you don't actually have to hunt them?
I'm going to assume there's stuff living on there if there's an ecosystem.
Well, we'll see.
And also, we're going to be trekking probably out into the wilderness where we'll have absolutely no support at all.
You're right.
Well,
all right, I've got a plan. I'm going to go find a giant dinosaur and give them the biggest damn gun I can find.
Nefiru, would you like him to buy you a new gun?
Oh, there
an
we go.
even bigger gun?
But can we make Nefiru even bigger?
I don't think we can make the gun any bigger. Is it already a heavy railgun?
It's not heavy, but I'm not going to make it heavy.
Okay. Don't want that recoil that knocks you on your butt.
Oh yeah, I actually have money. I could actually buy the mods I want now, I think. I'll research into that, and I'll just say I'm doing that on the side.
And now we have a second person in the party with crafting, so we can try to build this stuff.
Mm-hmm. We got lots of options now.
Oh yeah, while we're here, I don't know if we had time for Nefera to do this, but before we left, or even after just leaving WarCon. I was remembering it because of the war, but yeah, I was able to not purchase, but afford a grenade launcher and the belt-fed ammo case for my railgun. So
Cool.
I think you did let me roll to purchase that, and we're just going to be doing it like while we're on the planet here.
You could, yeah, you could do that on that planet here, or you could do it on. We could have had done it on WarCon. We can do it on this planet here. That works perfectly fine. It actually works as well. It works well to have it on this planet.
All right, so we're going to have to hire somebody to do this, or shall we use our craft?
That's entirely up to you guys, I guess.
How much craft do we got?
How much craft do you need?
I have a D4 craft, but I'm a team player.
Liz could rote this and give you a D12. I am terrible, so I won't help.
Yeah, and I could also rote it and give you a D12. So how many dice would that give you, Arcloid?
2d12, d6, and I believe d6 if we're talking on mind.
Okay, so if this was something that we could all work together on, like 3 people, because it might not be, like something that's come up before is that we don't specifically limit how many people can assist, but GMs can do that. Yeah, it would probably take 2. What mod are we putting on this thing?
Grenade launcher and belt-fed ammo case.
Okay,
Nice.
the hard part would be buying those parts. I believe we have to buy at least 20% of the parts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just paid for them, so I guess we don't have to craft them then. But we can.
That's right, you bought them on WarCon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you bought them at the end on WarCon, I believe.
Okay.
I could use your help crafting a smart sight specifically for my holdout pistol here, which would help me out.
Arcaloid, how many dice do you have?
D6, counting skill and trait.
Okay, yeah, we can't quite rote it because this is an expensive mod, and if we roted it, we only have 4 dice. We need 6 dice to rote it, so we'd have to roll. So you'd have to roll the D6, D6, D12, D12.
Yeah, and at least you could add your personality to it, if nothing else.
Or I don't know if you have a favorite. Do you have a favorite use for crafting yet?
I do not.
Usually
That
that
also
goes like electronics or mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But hey, if you roll it, you just multiply your successes by 10, and that's how much money of stuff you make.
All right, so I guess you're both gonna row to help me get this done.
That's correct.
Yeah, we just
Helping.
wrote. You just roll. So 2d6. So 2d6 and 2d12.
that sounds like a line from a rap. We just wrote and you just roll.
Yep. Don't roll all ones, or we'll point and laugh.
And I guess while they're rolling this, Eli, I'm just going to spend 16 notes and get a survival kit, by the way.
Perfect.
Sounds like we'll need it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that weird. All right,
Hey,
crafted,
you did it.
30 notes worth of stuff.
This one is 45 costs, so it might need one more success.
No, actually, that combines with the parts that we already bought. So I think. So wait,
it would then.
But the parts we bought only cost 6, so that's 36 out of 48. So it takes us another day. But if we have the next day, we can just move on.
Yeah. I said you guys had time to do this. So
all ones, so you could rule. We just wrote. We just do it again, and then boom. So what is it? We just put a grenade launcher on this thing.
That's a smart side for
I forgot.
pistol.
Is a grenade launcher prescribed?
Yes, and I did make the roll to find the fence.
No, we work 3 times faster. Because the prices on illegal stuff are artificially inflated. So illegal is also artificially inflated. We're done.
Well, we're not crafting a grenade launcher, but the smart siding that we are crafting is prescribed.
Okay, perfect. We're done.
Awesome.
So you have smart sight and a grenade launcher. And was this going on? Which were your weapons?
It's going on my holdout pistol.
So you have this tiny holdout pistol, and underneath
and I can aim really well with it. I'm wearing a punk outfit, or the upgraded version of it, so I also get a bonus for that for my holdout. So holdout is my primary weapon.
It's just this really small gun, and then all of these huge attachments.
I only got the one, so it's not over the top, honestly. Yet.
That's hilarious.
I'm the one with all the attachments.
Well, you've got the big. Yeah, you wanted a bayonet on that. No, we're loaded, and here I just.
I'll probably put one on my semi-auto next, just so that I can have some higher damage rating too.
I just think that's
hitting
hilarious.
is good.
This is the tiny gun I keep in my back pocket.
You just got like a laser on it and a hollow.
The sight is wider and taller than the barrel.
Did you put smart sighting on it too?
On the holdout, yeah, that's exactly what I put onto it.
Yeah, that means it's got like the wire and that goes up to your goggles.
The grenade launcher went to a different weapon, by the way, not mine.
I
think you were imagining all of them on just this tiny. Which
I could
now
see
I get it.
Sighting, on a pistol, but that's the fancy like heads-up display with the reticles and that kind of stuff.
Now we've given him a good idea, though. Grenade launcher on that holdout pistol.
Derringers were often, they're holdout pistols, but they were often like there are like 45 or 50 caliber Derringers. They fire just a single shot, so you could get like a heavy holdout pistol if you really wanted to.
A heavy holdout pistol, huh?
Yeah, because first of all, you just pull it out and it's distractingly heavy, and then the recoil would knock you on your butt, possibly breaking your hand. I don't recommend.
Oh, that's almost like in Men in Black 1. You'd almost have kind of that little gun that he had at that point.
I don't. There are 50 caliber Derringers out there. I don't recommend firing them. All right, so I don't know why you're so. But it's a planet that's populated by crystals. I don't know why you're scared of rocks. What moves slower than a rock?
Well, that's the thing.
Oh no!
I don't know. I haven't really gotten a bunch
full of
Shimins. And we're also hunting for something incredibly dangerous to begin with.
No, we're not. We're hunting for a key. Like, we already have the stupid hat. This hat wasn't even dangerous.
No, we're hunting for racks.
Oh. I thought we were
So
going
I
for the
have some
key.
hunters who are also willing to play the most dangerous game with us.
Oh. I thought we were just looking for the key.
Right, and so was the Malmagati.
Well, okay. That might be a little tricky.
They are actually a credible threat that we know about.
Oh, they are incredibly credible threats. I've seen their loadouts.
So you guys have arrived at Delix, and there's only a small contingent of the from this. I totally forgot what this ship's called.
Cavalcade.
The Cavalcade. There's only a small detachment of the Cavalcade that makes landfall. It includes your party. It includes another party of what looks like 3, a nobleman, accompanied by 2 servants, a large shipment with a single smartly dressed attendant, and just a small, like, looks like about 10 people, all dressed in identical shirts, which all of them read the Delix Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Bachelorette Party
Oh,
2177.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Now's my time to try and skip out on the mission and go to the bachelorette party.
Well, I have an invitation if you want to come with me.
How did
I was
you get
thinking
an
we check out the museum while we're here anyway.
Do you know these people?
Oh yeah, I talked with them along the way. Lovely person, by the way. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. She definitely liked the spikes on my gangbanger.
Oh, you're a bad boy. Everybody's always after the bad boy fireflies.
Yeah, Mitherlin, the bad girl.
So you're all landed, and on the ride down, if any of you can look out the window, you see there's large scapes covered in forest, and here and there you might see a small rise. But out of this forest appears a small compound, and from above, it looks like there's 5 buildings and like a little bit of a rent in the ground near one of them. And you put down, and you're all let off the shuttle, and you see greeting you is a weird accompaniment of green men or green people. It's really hard to tell. They just look like humanoids made entirely of green goop.
Ah, the
And
goopers.
yes, each one of them in these small detachments arrive to. You can see them arriving to each one of the other groups as well. But a detachment approaches you, and one of them steps forward and says, "Greetings. We are Zilbar. Welcome to Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium. How may we assist you? Do you need help in carrying your bags to your hotel?"
Oh yes, absolutely. In fact, I think we'd love to take a little bit of the tour here. And meanwhile, Lisk is like pulling out like his sensor equipment. He's like looking for the direction of the signal.
Yep.
So he'll do some readings while we walk around.
Yep, that works. So they each, some of them go to each one of you and start assisting you with any of your baggage. If you're willing to let them take it, they'll pick it up.
I don't have any bags, so I'll politely decline.
I could give you one to
of course.
carry.
Ah, yes, I'll take that. One of the Zilbars continues talking with you. What hotel should we take your bags to?
Something within budget, I think.
Ah, then Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Motel is perfect for you.
Wonderful. And I'll arrange for a couple of rooms for that.
Delightful. One of them runs off with the bags while Zilbar stays with you.
Mhm.
Welcome to Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium. the best kaleidoscoporium in all the Myriad world. If you'll see to the right, there is Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Warehouse, where all the wonderful kaleidoscoporiums, displays, and items are held until they're shipped off or supplies. The warehouse, it's much the same as any warehouse that you'd see on another world. Up there is Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Museum, which you should really check out. It's the star of the show. You'll see all of how the kaleidoscopes are made and the process that created the crystals that you'll see while you're around. Over there is Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium staff housing. So that's where all of where Zilbar and Zilbar and Zilbar and Zilbar and Zilbar and Zilbar of Zilbar. That's where we all stay. Mm-hmm. Oh, and across the street there, you see Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Motel. That's where we'll be going. That's where we're going there. That's where you will stay. All the necessities are taken care of. And right there, Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Diner. The best dining on all of Delix.
Oh, I almost thought it was going to be a cafe, but diner's good too.
Well, we have all the required nutrients for any species, and they gesture towards each one of you.
That's good to hear.
Curious question. So, Zilbar, are you all the same entity, or is there something going on with these naming conventions?
Well, it's easy to get confused. I am Zilbar. I own Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium. That right there is Zilbar. He's the co-owner of Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium. And Zilbar over there, he also has a controlling stake in Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium.
I see. So
we are Zilbar.
I think Mithlin is just going to satisfy herself with being confused now.
Look, don't insist on pushing your individual concept of identity upon these people.
Oh no, I don't think I dare ask them to change anything, but I was gonna get a headache, that's for sure. Liz, have you found anything? Is that thing beeping yet?
So there are 5 buildings in this entire compound, and or at least maybe I might even call it like a cluster of buildings if they're more of a compound. But there's 5 buildings in the entire compound: the museum, the warehouse, staff housing, the restaurant. Oh, I forgot to mention Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium's gift shop. That's on the way out.
Of course, right next to the diner. Very convenient.
Yep. But those are the 5 buildings, and there's a signal coming from the direction of the museum, but it's weird. She can detect faint signals in about 5 other directions that when she turns in that direction, they appear to be coming out from the wilderness.
Don't tell me the key can be broken up into multiple pieces.
No, let's not skip a beat here. It's kaleidoscoping. But I have no doubt that these crystals are making it a little bit confusing.
Do we even know what the key is?
Your guess is as good as mine. He didn't really leave much about it.
Well, I guess it's time to book a museum tour.
Which, I guess would now be the appropriate time. Eli, so, you remember the logs. What did we read about his journey here? He just came and, stashed it in the museum box?
His journey here was an interesting one. He describes coming and checking out the tourist attractions of Delix. which he counts as zip lining and safaris and river rafting, splunking, hang gliding, enjoying the fabulous fruit.
The entire planet's economy is just a singular amusement park. Well, he definitely had fun while he was here, but he didn't really leave a whole lot else in his logs. But if it's in the museum, I guess that makes it easy. Not very many other places it can be. So I suppose I'll arrange to definitely have the tour. What do the rest of you guys want to do?
I think we should also do the tour. It looks like the museum is the most likely part, and I don't know. I don't have an urge to wander off in the woods and get killed by whatever's out there.
Right, not yet anyway.
Yeah, we'll have the safari for that.
You're directed. So first, you're directed to you're directed to your rooms in the motel, where they're also told breakfast is served every morning. There's a nice little cafeteria area, and you're given a nice set of rooms, enough to accommodate all of you. Fairly nice. There's not a lot of you're noticing like a few people out, but it looks like you might have like doubled the current population of non-Zilbars just with the arrival group that you had. You're not
Right,
seeing many
so-
other staff that aren't Zilbar,
Mhm.
but Zilbar does direct you to the museum where you can sign up for tickets or for tours and various other assorted activities. So,
You two, something's actually on my mind a little bit. If it's just here in this amusement parks, where's the Malmangati?
Yeah, we
They
should
had at
ask
least a
about
month to work on this one, and if they had the same information.
Well, they might not be here at the spaceport. They could easily be working in the museum and other covert operations.
Very possible. I guess we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled then. But onwards to the tour.
so would all of you like to take the tour?
There's nothing I'd like more.
All right, so you make your way over to the museum, and would you like to sign up for a tour, or would you like to sign up for your own walk around?
Let's do our own walk around,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, audio tour, please.
I'm afraid we have no audio tours. You can walk around, but we don't have any spare Zilbars to accompany you. But the tours, they have audio as with an accompanying Zilbar. Also, if you act today, we do have a membership opportunity, number of visits to the museum, the Zilbar's Kaleidoscopium.
We'll just pay
now-
for the visit today, thank you.
I'm just saying, after 3 visits, it pays for itself. Just one visit with the tour.
We'll go without the tour right now.
Without the tour, okay, that'll be. And how many are with you right now?
Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 with the pusher, so yeah, 5.
That'll be 1 note each.
All right, I'll go ahead and pay it out of my own pocket.
Oh, thanks, boss.
Thank you.
Consider it business expenses. Let's have some fun.
Enjoy the Kaleidoscopium.
Oh, we will. Well, here we go,
So
everybody. Free reign.
You're given several passes, and you can pick up some pamphlets along the way. You begin making your way around. It is a fabulous Kaleidoscopium. It's filled with crystals and gems and there's various things that you can look at, and there's like different settings, so you can change what you're looking at, which each kaleidoscope. It's a little bit clunky, but it still works. You can just.
Not to mention, they're probably many of these kaleidoscopes aren't even in the human visible spectrum, except for the infrared and ultraviolet, which means all of us are seeing something different.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it's truly beautiful and breathtaking. There's also
it's probably lost on Arkloid's character because dinosaurs have the worst vision.
Hey, take a look at this one. It's Octarine. It's in the ultraviolet spectrum.
The Pharaoh's looking through the eyepiece. God damn it, it's not moving.
all of these are black. There's 3 wings to the entire museum. There's a wing dedicated to all the work and the production. There's a dedication to the how they're made. So there's like the final piece, how they're made, and like kind of just a history of Zilbar's kaleidoscoporium as well, along with like cool other kaleidoscope facts. So walking through it, can I have everyone make a observation and academics roll with no characteristics?
Ooh, okay. Well, I believe Lisk is actually my go-to person for that, so we'll go ahead and we'll roll.
Actually, you can toss your mind into it as well.
This is like, I didn't study for this.
Hey, I got 1 success. I would spot things an observant person would spot.
Yeah.
And I just have 2d6 myself.
That was my ally.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Gawk. Okay. So you guys walk through, you admire the beautiful kaleidoscopes. You kind of like briefly look through the history. Going through it, there's a jagged tear in, it looks like it's in the ground that looks like the building was built around, and there's kind of got like a glass perimeter so you can look down, and you see there's it says the Crystal Caverns, and the informational pamphlet you see, Doc Gawk points out that these crystal caverns like pierce the entire core of this planet, and there's only several openings in the crust where you can access them, and
Ooh.
that's what this site is built upon, because they can use the crystal to build their kaleidoscopes.
Fascinating.
So this entire planet is a geode.
Yeah,
and
that
it
would make
looks
sense.
Yeah, their construction has been here for about 2 years at this point.
So that means that this kaleidoscope, this crystal formation here, is a volcanic or geothermic one. It was generated by heat and then sealed. This isn't a growing crystal formation like we would find outside in the forest.
I would suspect any sort of natural life probably incorporates some of these crystal formations into their own form then.
Well, that would be,
You're seeing that as well in the with Doc Gawk's academics. There's like all the plants start to have crystals in their cell walls, and it starts to their fruit start to have more of a glassy shine. And if when their fruit spoils, it's actually when they become gems, because they've got too much crystal inside of them.
that are
Nice.
actually crystallized gems. Wow, there's some unique touristy stuff here.
Certainly pretty to look at.
The crystal forests, while certainly beautiful, they start to become rather dangerous, as everything out there is sharp as crystal.
Ah, fun, yeah.
So there's really you see that this compound is rather small, and they don't list as you're looking through their entire pamphlet. You don't see any listed activities or any tours that take you outside the compound.
Right, and definitely none that go into like the gem caves or anything either.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Are
we
the caves
didn't
actually
see-
restricted? Is my question.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything saying that the rest of the planet's restricted, have we?
You have not. This, as you're kind of looking around, this crystal chasm, we could call them, or the opening into the crystal caves. This one looks like it's entirely sealed up by both the museum and what someone points out as Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Manufactorium.
Right, so active work site restriction then.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So we'd either have to get a visa or forge a visa.
Or just say like, hey, we'll stay a while and do some work. There's not exactly a planetary government here enforcing any kind of labor laws.
No, there's always somebody enforcing something, I say. Which reminds
Well,
me, did they make us peace bind our weapons, or are we just walking around armed everywhere?
Yeah, they didn't do anything to your weapons.
Even our
I don't
prescribed
suspect they're
ones?
very coordinated here.
Nothing.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So, in other words, they didn't take our guns away from us, which means there's probably other people out there with guns.
Yes,
Probably.
you've seen now that you've started to walk around a while, you see there's a large continent of people in these very Napoleonic looking outfits, and you see each one of them have long rifles that they have on their shoulders, and they march everywhere. Even in the museum, you can still hear their boots clacking as they move from little info booth to info booth.
Yeah, there's your
Yeah.
there, boss.
Yeah, there's an engineer over there with a mech suit and a Waldo turret, and that Morpheer over there has a sympathetic resonance blade with a gasoline engine you can rev. Really? Okay.
Yeah, you're surprised to see that everyone in here is very well armed.
I guess the
In fact,
safari is quite the draw.
even the Bachelorette museum tour party is. They're probably the least armed of all the parties, but they have they have a weapon or two.
If not, everyone just has some extra pepper spray. Okay.
Well, all their weapons had to be like thematic to their journey, so they couldn't find a lot of weapons. So
Yeah.
yeah, damn alien biologies.
So I guess we've spent our time like figuring out stuff around here. What about the signal?
Yeah, when you're going through the entire tour, can I have? Is that Dr. Lisk doing that?
Yeah.
Could I have?
Presumably has the equipment.
Yeah, could I have Lisk do a? It would be a mind and academics with a survey bonus. Would
Okay.
would that be the correct role to like operate that sensor to try to find the signal?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. He basically has an outfit that would contribute in either way. Either he has
Yeah.
the investigator's outfit with the survey or science outfit, and both probably apply to signal analytics. So yeah,
You probably have in the science outfit, right? Because we're looking for something scientific.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we have the survey equipment, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I got 2d8 and 2d6.
All right.
And let's girls 2 successes.
All right. With 2 successes, Dr. Lisk is going through the entire kaleidoscoporium and checking their device several times. And the strongest reading you get is right next to the opening of the crystal caverns. And it's unusual because it took a little bit of time to find because the signal was bouncing all around this room like crazy. And it took some time to narrow it down, and it seems to be coming from the crystal caves.
And that's restricted, isn't it?
Yeah, only slightly.
What is the Crystal Caves a work visa area?
You're not seeing anyone go into the work area or leave the work area.
Okay, are there any signs posted saying "Don't go in here"?
There is there's most like yes, there's a sign on the doors that say "Do not enter."
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Yep. Zilbar area only.
Right.
Okay,
So
well,
you
no
first.
bars, great. Wait, that means that if they only hire local people, it means that even if we do get caught, we're not going to be able to pretend to be green blobs.
That's very true. However, I think they'd probably be pretty susceptible to a bribe.
Do you have enough money to bribe them?
Well, I had that windfall earlier, and I think Nefarious still has a little bit too. Nefarious, you didn't blow it all on that grenade launcher, did you?
I blew a good deal of it.
All right, so it's going to be mostly my money then.
Yep, I still have my 6 notes retirement money, and you're not getting that.
Yeah, I have
That's all I need.
Hopefully, at the end of this, we'll have a little bit more. But
Excellent. I can retire
so
twice.
so that is the first problem. The second one is this is a cave that goes all the way deep inside the planet, and this is a 1G planet. That's pretty big. We could be down there for a long while, and the signal's bouncing everywhere.
No, it's a planet that has heavy mineral deposits, which aren't, and minerals and crystals are not as dense or as heavy as, metals. This planet could be way bigger than a terrestrial planet.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Eli, what would you say like the diameter of this planet is, or radius? Would you say it would be several times larger than a normal granite and iron planet like Earth, or
Yeah, it probably would be twice the size of Earth, easily.
So
Yeah.
so
So twice the
even
size of Earth,
deeper.
well, it doesn't matter if it's kilometers deep. It's kilometers deep. What's this? Is there a day-night cycle here? A sidereal day?
Yes, yeah, there is.
If the whole planet's a geode, I imagine sunlight probably just refracts straight through the center of the planet anyway at all times.
Sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
It does get
outside. Got blinded by the forest.
That's all right. My eyes are already polarized. All right. So there's a lot of territory to possibly cover. We at least have a way in. We might end up down there for a long while. It's probably dangerous just because it's going to be sharp. And the signal could bounce around literally anywhere.
Well, not to mention the plummeting to the center of the Earth. But we don't actually know how deep it is down there, do we?
Not off the cuff, no.
This could be days of exploration.
Exactly. What we probably need is, I'd say maybe some kind of local guide as well. But I'm not sure if there'd be anyone willing to, like, ditch, like, a full month of work just for a bribe.
But you'd have to pay them for a full month of work.
Exactly. I don't have that kind of cash.
And none of us are
Anymore.
a cave-dwelling species. I don't think those show up until Myriad aliens.
Nope, none of us.
Yep, there is a specific caving gift. None of us have it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this definitely sounds like an expedition we all try to plan on, and I guess I'll try to work on, say, talking with someone who could actually get us in there.
I'm curious why we were getting like 5 other weak signals outside of here. It's my impression that the keys are all in one piece, aren't they?
Yeah, or at least that's my assumption. It's very possible that, like I joked earlier, it's kaleidoscoping. The signal might be multiplying through the crystal.
Well, that might also imply that there's other ways into this cave entrance that are outside of here. I mean, that would make sense. It could be a large cave complex.
That's also true. maybe the simplest thing for us to start with would be to see if we could locate one of those signals farther out that would not have restrictive access.
All right. Well, I want to go do some research on the outside. I mean, apparently the planet is not restricted. No one is claiming, which is a little weird to me because you think if the fruit here was really nice, you think there'd be land claims with people claiming that they have dominion over the crystal forests and this kind of stuff. People could just land here and strip the land, strip mine the surface and just leave.
My guess would be that the most valuable thing this planet can produce that anyone can think of is kaleidoscopes.
Well, there's also the fruit.
There might not be a lot of economic utility out of this planet.
There's always somebody who wants to come by and just strip money.
You can make glass anywhere in the galaxy.
Don't let the AMG.
It's still a little weird that no one's even making a spurious claim of just saying, I own this entire planet.
So you want to do some research.
I mean, yeah, what is out there? Is it dangerous?
Okay. So if you go and do some research, maybe I'll take my crew and I'll go explore the wilderness and see if we can pin down that signal. Does Lisk have like a general idea of like how far away the next closest signal iteration is?
You'd have to do a little bit of studying. Just a little bit of time. Just take some time and try to focus in on one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm basically just wondering if it would be like a day journey in and out of the city, or if I'm looking at like traversing the entire planet across months here to get to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So we'll start with that and the researching, and we'll see what we do, I guess.
Okay. So you guys start. You've figured out that you've got that signal coming up from the caves. So you do a little bit of discussing, and you all start to set up on doing all these tasks. So I know what Lisk is up to. What are you going to get up to, Nefero?
I guess she could go on the hunt for any racks that have been around, like going rumor hunting.
Okay. Awesome. And what do you want to be getting up to there, Ezreal?
Well, I would think that my best bet would be to talk to some of the locals and ask about that. So I'll go ahead and use my charming personality and my questioning ability.
Okay. So, why don't you roll that questioning?
Wow. Oh, that is 2 successes. I am charming.
What are you trying to? What are you trying to ask about? What are you trying to find out?
I'll go to different locations, different tourist place. The usual gossiping thing of sure working hard or hardly working, and that sort of thing. And like talk to several people and ask them, so what's it like here? What's outside? What's in the forests? So basically, I'm asking them like what's outside of the city, like the forest. What's the real dope? Is there horrible monsters? Are there poachers? Is there anything dangerous out there? Why are you guys all here and not out there?
Oh, well, that's easy to say. This is Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium.
It's the tourism trap.
This is where we're at. The rest of the planet is left to maintain its natural beauty so as not to cause economic damage to the crystals.
Well, yeah, but what's to stop somebody from going out there and harvesting the crystals?
Well, there are the creatures.
I'm curious about these creatures.
There are natural inhabitants of Delix. Creatures that live in these forests, and I've heard they're not very fun to run into, but that's the way of nature.
Are they, say, nightmarish silicon or organic hybrids where they have crystal and stone plating on the outside, yet still crave organic flesh to consume to sustain their protein-heavy existence?
Yeah. Welcome to Delix.
That's what I thought. What keeps them out of the city?
Oh, Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium patented Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium defense system.
Can you tell me the nature of it, or is it just a
Defense.
big fence?
Keeps them all out.
It makes sense to me. Just 6 stories of concrete keep most anything out. Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask if it was electrified or if it's just a tall fence. I mean, just digging a pit and putting a high wall, it keeps the Titans out.
Yeah, worked well for that show.
Okay.